Shalom and welcome to Branch of Israel. This is Rabbi Roger coming to you from God's beautiful country, Israel. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, if you've not heard from us, it is because we have moved and still getting situated. During this process, I was too busy to think about a program, yet alone up for it, even though we had movers to help us. So if you've ever moved or about to move, you know where I'm coming from. It appears the previous program I aired had an error in it, and I would like to personally thank the gentleman that posted the comment on my YouTube channel concerning this. I would like to say how important it is for me to get feedback from you, the listener. Now, for the real question, what was the problem? In my previous airing, 40-1, I built a great case for someone who was being scourged by the Jews and applied it to Jesus as if this is what he received. Truthfully, it applied to Paul, who was whipped 5 times according to 2 Corinthians 11, but did not work for Jesus. In his case, where I erred, was he was whipped by the Romans, and most likely not 39 times, but more. How many? Well, we'll never know the answer to that question this side of heaven. According to Fred Coulter in his book, The Day Jesus the Christ Died, he writes, "Flogging was a legal preliminary to every Roman execution, and only women and Roman senators or soldiers, except in the cases of desertion, were exempt. The usual instrument was a short whip with several single or braided leather thongs of variable lengths, in which small iron balls or sharp pieces of sheep bone were tied at intervals. For scourging, the man was stripped of his clothing, and his hands were tied to an upright post. The back, buttocks, and legs were flogged either by 2 soldiers or by one who alternated positions. The severity of the scourging depended on the disposition of the soldier, and was intended to weaken the victim to a state just short of collapse or death. As the Roman soldiers repeatedly struck the victim's back with full force, the iron balls would cause deep contusions, and the leather thongs and sheep bones would cut into the skin and subcutaneous tissues. Then, as the flogging continued, the lacerations would tear into the underlying skeletal muscles and produce quivering ribbons of bleeding flesh. Pain and blood loss generally set the stage for circulatory shock. The extent of blood loss may well have determined how long the victim would survive on the cross. After the scourging, the soldiers often taunted their victim. In Romans 5, Paul makes a statement that is so true. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die. I think it would be very safe to say that hardly anyone would be willing to go through what Jesus did for us. Would you? For more teachings and information, visit branchofisrael.com. That's branchofisrael.com. Again, this is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye, or see you again.